Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. I actually did a little bit of grinding the other night and I didn't record while I was playing because it was really late. And I realized doing post audio on these things are really weird. So I'm going to skip a lot of it, but I will make sure not to in the future because I've been getting feedback from you guys saying that the grinding is actually interesting because there's so many things you can do in this game that when you get stuck, it's a little confusing on knowing what to do next. So some of you are enjoying that. But what I did late last night was I did make a blank page. At this point, you have already unlocked that feature. And I took some silver offerings that I had that I knew I wasn't going to use. And I gave them up. And I summoned up a blank page. And I was looking for a behemoth that was paid out an award that had the L, like large, in the description. Because that means that it would pay out a gold type of offering, because I wanted to get the gold apples. The apples themselves, when you eat them, they give you plus 200 attack, which is crazy, which is why I use them so much, especially because I tank so heavy in defense here. But these change the amount of cast you can do and the duration that it lasts for, so always good to have higher tier apples. But the attack boost is the same. So anyways, I was doing Behemoth, which was really fun, and I was trying out some new spells. Got the apples. And then it was at this point that I realized that I had hit a cap, sort of like an unlock point on my intelligence level. This again is increased every time you collect a bunch of new offerings. So going back to old quests to get offerings that you didn't earn before is very important in this game. And this unlocked a whole new tier of different sigils to get. And the one that interested me most was this, not that one. Was a defense one, which allows me to increase my defense augment by quite a bit on my forearm. But in order to do that, I did need life essence from a leprechaun. And again, I would have recorded if it wasn't really late at night. So I'm doing this post audio, but in order to get the leprechaun, I just know that I want a low rank leprechaun hunt, which I just go into the packs for. Packs are just a bunch of generic, just think of them as like village quests. I'm looking for leprechauns, and here they are. And this is one that gives medium 1, so it might give me the plus version, might not. So I figured I would take my chance and do this one a few times to see what it was. So let's at least in post read the story of the leprechauns. There once lived a set of triplets born to a renowned cobbler. The shoes their father made were comfortable beyond compare and favored by many in the nobility. For his part, the cobbler intended to pass along his knowledge and his business with it. Each of the triplets felt that they were the worthiest successor, and they improved by leaps and bounds through constant competition. Most fervent of all was the youngest of the three. Given equal skill, convention suggested it would be the eldest that would inherit. Unless he could surpass him clearly, incontrovertibly, he knew that he stood no chance. In the course of his efforts, he concluded that it was the materials that decided the shoe's quality. He experimented with leathers made from every manner of beast imaginable. These experiments brought a light to a certain pattern. The more intelligent the animal, the more subtle and lustrous its hide once tanned. This discovery proved a vital help in securing the best leathers, and the youngest son rejoiced. Yet doubt still lingered. Surely there must be a way to produce even finer shoes. Amid the feverish traffic of thoughts through his mind, a single mad idea emerged. There does exist a more intelligent animal, and in great numbers. Quite close by. Humans. What's more, he could immediately think of 2 people he wouldn't mind disposing of in order to get a hold of their leather. But he lacked the courage to take a life himself. Agonizing over this grim dilemma, he looked up to see a curious sight, a floating chalice white as sun-bleached bone. He heard its voice. "You need but pay the price and all you desire is yours." The young man shouted his reply. "Take the flesh of my 2 brothers," he said, "and craft from them a shoe fit to satisfy my father." But the bond shared by the siblings, born on the same day, is a curious thing. They tend to think alike. And so it was that all 3 triplets made the same wish at the same day at the very same time. 3 shoes were made that day. Their torsos were fashioned in the shape of footwear with their heads and limbs protruding awkwardly. The living shoes raced back to their family home and began to quarrel and curse one another fiercely. Their father, watching on, was struck with a profound sadness. "It takes love to be a master cobbler. You will never learn to craft a good shoe if you lack the empathy to dedicate yourself fully to the wearer's comfort. You fools," he thundered. "Did you never think to work together? I had always planned to pass my trade on to all 3 of you." Instead, all 3 were disowned and booted from their ancestral home. What would they do now, they wondered? How would they live, monstrous as they become? They decided their only hope was to heed their father's words and to band together. Together they would perfect the art of shoemaking and show their father up. First, of course, they would need good leather. Even still, the brothers' bond remained strong as they stalked the land, peeling the skin from the choicest of specimens, though they know the finest leather came from the most intelligent of animals. It seems that in their hurry to put their father in his place, they have completely ignored his real lesson, that mastery of their craft would only come through empathy. Yeah, so this kind of reminds me of the Three Little Pigs. They're a bunch of dolts. So I wasn't very keen on saving them, but I had to, as I needed their life essence for the defense, so I guess we shall have to forgive the three for being stupid. So let me show you a bit of the fight. I can't really comment on this when I'm not actually playing. It would sound really weird. But you can, you can see, I don't know if I showed the dwarves off. I think I may have, but it's a very similar design. But it's pretty much a stacked tower of these shoes. Hit a button here, you can see that each one of them is a breakable part. And they have these weapons. I believe they're probably related to shoemaking, but I'm not a shoemaker, I wouldn't know. But they do have a really funny summon attack, which I use later in this video, where I think I got their anvil type hammers. The leprechauns themselves are pretty easy. They just stack up, you knock them down, they break off. So I think just focusing on where to break the parts and making sure that you're not wasting all the damage on parts that are already broken is a good way to do the hunt. Other than that, they're just, you know, incredibly rampagey. Like, this would be a stressful hunt if you are playing as Avalon only, because when they go into spinny mode here, basically one hit will kill you if you're Avalon, because you have lots of power and very little defense. Luckily, Avalon also has lots of spells that can be done from mid to long distance, like really big power. So I think, you know, with the right dodging abilities and stuff, you'd be fine. And of course, your NPCs, they can heal you pretty much infinite a number of times. So definitely get Sympatha. Try to level her up. I have her at, I think, A right now. But she is awesome. She will always come to your aid. She'll heal you. So yeah, pick your NPCs wisely and you should be good. So they're already dead. I didn't even break all their parts. I was just too strong, because when you're going into a hunt like this and you're too strong, every attack counts. So if you're having trouble breaking parts from lower ranked monsters, put on a weaker weapon is my best advice. So we went ahead and did the save here. You can see what it looks like as a human. And we did get the Leprechaun LE, Life Essence, just the base one from the very first shot. No, we got the plus, sorry. So I did this one a second time. I'm not going to show it. But I got the regular Life Essence, and I was able to make that sigil. Now when I say make, I mean equip. Because you unlock the ability to get it, and then you earn it. So I earned it, and I was able to put it on, and boom, that is a 50% defense increase, which is quite healthy. So that's going to help me out quite a bit. Here I'm just looking at other stuff that I might be able to boost up at this part in the game. And I think I kind of settled on what I have now. Okay, I should probably show this part as well. I decided to go to Carnatux and see what type of outfits we've unlocked as we've gone through the game, and you'll notice that I've unlocked some some interesting ones. This is the hunter outfit that you can get. Looks very saucy from the front, but if you turn it to the back, it actually looks pretty cool. You got all these different colors that you can unlock with these other items that you can fuse together. Looks pretty cool. What else did I unlock here? No, not the Seducer. Here we go. Seducer. So life and magic total over 30. So level 35 or above. And this is Semilia's outfit. So she's got some really cool color options. I like the blue one especially. But we'll have to collect some items in order to get those. Rebel for getting over 50. But you get an idea of the visual makeup of some of the outfits. They're pretty funny. I don't know what the male outfits look like specifically because I've never played as a guy in this game, so my apologies there. And I really want that one, like into 100. I still don't have it on my main save, but I really want it. Anyways, I went ahead and did all that, and now that brings us to our episode today. So I hope you guys appreciated me putting back in all of these grinding things that I did, and I apologize that I didn't plan on it in the first place. Beginning of the end is when things are going to, I mean, things have been juicy from the get-go, but they're going to get even more juicy. This, if we notice, is a 5 difficulty. We can go ahead and do it now, but this is also sort of the way the game is trying to push you into progression is through the packs as well. So if you notice, like, some of these difficulties are like really high, or they're unlocked because they have to deal with stories that will affect our author later down the line. We have like a Lost Voice for Grimm. That's not going to be for a while. But we did unlock 2 Avalon ones, so I want to go ahead and do those today in one episode. We have the Ballad of the Werewolf and Knight of Vengeance, Militar, who I can't stand, at least in Japanese. We'll see if he comes off different now that I know the full story. But I'm not a fan of his. Anyways, let's get on to the Ballad of a Werewolf. This is a story of Venatar.
Most every sorcerer had heard the claims that an untamed, bloodthirsty monster was on the prowl. Numerous sorcerers had tried to hunt down the terrible werewolf, but they were outmatched. Each returned from the hunt as a harrowed corpse. I was acquainted with several of the victims. I had decided to make the werewolf my next target, and I should not deceive my reader. It was personal. A sorcerer approached me, asking if he might come on my hunt. His name was Venatar. A one-eyed sorcerer.
Okay, so we're going to be going on a hunt, personal grudge match against a werewolf we're going to track, and we got some help with an Avalon sorcerer who has one eye. Sounds good to me. So we're going to start out by just disposing of some spiders. Let's get to it. The werewolf had claimed the lives of many of my fellow sorcerers. Though our role in life is to kill, it does not mean that we do not feel a sense of loss when one of our number is taken from us. That be true. Really, I just cannot sing enough praise for the voice actor who does Libram and the narrator. It's so well done. I just really love how he emotes everything, how he takes. He really owns the character. It's a heck of a performance. Probably one of my favorite in a game ever. There's another thing I want to alert you to that I was not aware of after 200 hours of playing this game. But Kagrin, who is the guy who bought me the game to begin with because I was reluctant to try it, pointed this out to me, and I looked at it, and it seems very well documented. But if you notice, like when we go over to a mob, we get the choice to save or sacrifice, and it shows us different experience points. And it also gives us some flavor text. This one says a berserk soul sensed in cat. Well, these is actually a hint to the rarity of the soul or the spirit that we can get. Fate is always going to be random, but if we sacrifice, if you notice, we get -3 life, which means that it's half of what save would be. And instead we're going to get that sacrifice. This means that it's not a super rare one, it's a rare one. Considering this is a quest that has a plus, I'm going to assume this is a plus. I could be wrong. I'm not quite totally sure on all this, but if you're just going to collect some rare stuff, go ahead and just grab the ones that have the most. Let's see what we get. A plus, okay. So on this one, that will denote plus. Good to know. So, I mean, obviously, if you are trying to level up a specific level, whether it be life or magic, then you just go ahead and do that. Why am I using... I'm just going to just use claws here. It'll be faster that way. Like here. It's going to be the same deal for that one. This one, if you notice, they're neutral, which means it's just going to be a normal essence. Watch in the upper right-hand corner. It's just an orc life essence, nothing special. This one, we can get a plus. So if we get one that has like minus 6 life, it'll denote a super rare, which will be the plus plus. This is neutral, so it's just going to be a regular old essence. Oh, I forgot. I should mention this. This is showing the possibility. It's not 100%. It's close. So here, if we save it, we should be able to get a life essence plus. The probability is going to be quite high. Let's see what we get. Yeah. Let's go kill some more spiders. Some spooties. This is going to be natural, so watch, this is going to be a regular soul. Ooh, annoying little bastard. Yeah, so this is just going to be a normal SE, so soul essence, probably. Most likely, yeah. So this just makes it really easy when you're grinding for stuff. If you notice, like where things are and you don't care about going up a certain level, you could be missing your chance to get a really rare drop that you're going to want. That's just a normal one as well. Boy, we're not going to get any plus plus, are we? Maybe we're not that high enough. Maybe the difficulty has to be something like 7 to 10 for that to happen. It's possible. Don't quite remember everything. The blue ones are purely random. You can't really know what you're going to get. Another reason to pick them up more often than not. Ooh, that's a horrible rating. Absolutely horrific. I should redo that one.
When I arrived at the afflicted area, the great werewolf had already fled.
Why won't it show itself?
As we gazed at the hunks of flesh left in the werewolf's wake, Venatar told me of his long history with the Wolfman. Though he had no history at all. The werewolf had the peculiar habit of appearing in places in close proximity to Venatar. As a result, Venatar had lost many associates to the beast.
Has it something against me?
Could it all be a coincidence? My question was met with a swift answer.
That's what I intend to find out.
And a female sorcerer approached me. There was a reason that this woman, Sorora, had come to me discreetly. She wished to talk to me alone, away from Venatar. I did not ask the specifics, but evidently Sorora knew Venatar very well. She told me that Venatar had been closing in on the werewolf for an entire decade.
Do you not find that odd?
How could a decade pass without a confrontation? There must be an explanation. Her theory was sound, and I was tempted to become a believer. Morning came. We were told that the werewolf appeared nearby the night before.
Time to clean up some goblins. Okay, and if we do good, we can get all the way up to the snow stand hourglass. Let's do it. I must confess, I am torn. Should I tell Venatar of Sorora's words to me? What did she say? It's the baked beans that he eats every night. It drives the werewolf away. Thus he never meets him, due to its gaseous form.
Let's get started before I start aching.
Let's get started indeed. So I want to hit him right when he's about to prance me, so come at me. Come at me. Is that too early? There we go, we got the counter. It's regular old soul essences. May as well save a bunch so I can get that the points for doing so. This team runs out so fast. I really got to get a better one.
Nice move. Nice move. Don't start going soft now, right?
Easy peasy. There we go. Snow stand hourglass instantly freezes a single foe and the caster. Maybe I should have that heat spear back on. It seems like everything here is ice themed.
We arrived, but once again the werewolf was gone. Venatar sighed. He spoke about his past, how he had lost his eye, his wish to encounter the werewolf. To have his wish granted, he gave his own eye. He had given up a part of his own flesh, but still the werewolf had never revealed itself.
What do you reckon? Huh? Does this werewolf even exist?
Perhaps Venatar, too, was nearing the same conclusion as I. Now that she knew everything, Sorora was worried about him. One day, someone would have to tell him the truth. Have Have you ever caught a glimpse of this werewolf? Even once? Faced with this question, Venatar became visibly anxious. He made a confession. Sometimes he would wake up in the morning in an unfamiliar place. It was clear as day. The reason why the werewolf struck in places near Venatar. And why Venatar had never crossed paths with the werewolf. It was because Venatar was the werewolf himself. What Venatar had so long detested was but another form of himself. He buried his head in his hands.
Keep an eye on me for a while, will you?
He wanted a witness to observe his moment of transformation. It was the third day of keeping watch over Venatar. We heard news that the werewolf had appeared in a different location. I had not taken my eyes off Venatar for a moment. We left for the scene, so that Venatar could finally face this beast.
So it's not him. What is it? Let's go fight the werewolf. Venatar has wished this for decades. He is finally set to face the one he is willing to sacrifice a part of his own body in order to fight. A fellow sorcerer. Though faded, there was another scent of another magic, different from the monsters. It was only a smell that I would know. A dying sorcerer. So we get a third wheel. Good. Let's go save the person.
Let's get started before I start aching.
Okay, Jujimufu. Where's Isen?
I'm so...
Get up!
Please.
You ain't bleeding.
Boy, they're just going at it. I could probably just sit back here and eat fruit, and they would finish them off. But then I wouldn't get a very good reward, would I? Let's try to break some parts here. So we got both arms. There goes one. Is it the arm or is it the head? Oh, it's the face. Okay, and it's almost dead. That's what happens when you go in too powerful. Is it weak to ice? Oh, it is. Nice. Okay, we held all the parts as well. That's good. We're gonna get the Godspeed probably. Oh, we just messing this boy up. Woo! I like monsters that prounce and jump at you. Oh, nice. The ice one is one that shoots a forward thrust of magic. I really like those type of lances. Spears. Sorry. I'm just gonna... If I ever say lance, just consider it a spear. They're interchangeable. Lance was my main weapon when I first started Monster Hunter, so I just call everything a lance if it's a long stick. It's amazing I even called insect glaive the glaive and not insect lance or something. Yeah, that's some good points. Okay, we got the two things from him. One of them is a special attack. This is more for Avalon. Awaken the magic of the werewolf to conjure a whirl of scorching fire. Sounds fun. And the next one is a roar type. Roar, I believe, is... I think it's Avalon as well. That's where you get the buffs. The mercenary beast fur. Awaken the magic of the werewolf to conjure an area of scorching fire. So you go like, bah! And fire everywhere? Okay. I like it. And we saved Isen. Good progress.
We did not find an exhausted man after his rampage as the werewolf. We found something else. It was small and round. Venatar let out a scream. It was a human eye. It all came together in one moment. Venatar had spent years pursuing this beast known as the werewolf. Not realizing that he was the beast himself. His desperate desire to encounter the werewolf gave birth to a proxy. Created at the cost of one eye. How could he not realize this, despite it being a part of his own body? Perhaps he knew, deep down inside, but chose not to accept that the werewolf was himself. Venatar rampaged over the land. Sorora came to me in tears. Please do not kill my savior. She told me that she had met Venatar a decade earlier. Sorora had not been a sorcerer for long when she contracted a rare idiopathic disease after an encounter with a monster. She became covered in the fur of a wild beast. Then she met Venatar. It was Venatar who cured her of this awful disease. Only the disease was not in fact cured. The parasite that caused it had only changed hosts. Now it grew in Venatar.
Oh gosh, so he gave up an eye, and his wish was, for the sorcery I guess he did, was allow me to track down the werewolf, which just ended up meaning that his eye became a werewolf, because otherwise it'd be impossible. I feel bad for this guy, he's really had a string of bad luck. So now I think we're facing off against him. Okay, let's do this. Sorora's strange illness is a blight that only affects sorcerers. Venatar's promised to find a cure, but it is a quest in which he will not succeed. Oh Lord, he coming. Yeah. I should take off the auto lock so I can see what I'm missing here. What is that? I can't tell. Where's he going? Come back here. Left arm, okay. Okay, we got all the parts. Let's just go crazy. I want to make sure I wonder if I ended with over 50% health or if I've maintained under 50%. I wonder which it is. Oh, that is a cool looking spell. Okay, let's switch over to lance or spear. So the... Come on, man. I'm trying to explain something, dude. Anyways, what I was trying to explain before he rudely interrupted was that you may be asking yourself, well, why would you want to use the charge for a spear if it consumes the entire spell? The reason is it usually will stun a monster for a second. It'll knock them out of an attack or whatever and give you a nice big opening. It's expensive, but it also means that you use a lot of spears. Which is important because, you know, the more you use it, the more sigils will unlock later. Look at the reach on that thing as well. It's like really good. There we go. Light injuries achieved. I think you get that if you just don't die at least once. So... yeah, I think in order to get the other one basically unscathed, I think you need to go through the quest without ever hitting less than 50% health. Completed. Okay, so we haven't decided what we're doing with him. Calm the beast, so to say.
If the werewolf is not put to rest here and now, he may strike again.
Wait!
Sorora's breathing had become unsteady.
No! Don't kill him!
As she explained, her eyes shone with resolution.
Please! I'll be how I once was!
Sorora embraced Venatar. Finally, Venatar spoke. Several days passed.
Thank you for everything.
I met Venatar. His wounds had healed. It was an incredible recovery, but when I asked about Sorora, grey clouds seemed to form.
I was friends with her brother.
Sorora's older brother was also a sorcerer. Venatar and her brother had hunted together from a young age. They faced a monster together, but Sorora's brother died, and Venatar survived. The brother had wanted nothing more than his sister Sorora to be safe.
I will look after her instead of him.
Now his only wish was to cure her strange disease. His expression eased.
Well, I suppose I can stop chasing myself now.
The hulking sorcerer Venatar is still out there somewhere, freed from his own delusions. Free to care for a special girl.
Interesting. So I'm not sure what actually happened to Sorora. Maybe he's just keeping watch over her and looking for a cure. Maybe he just let her loose. Maybe she had to die. I don't know. Let me know if I missed that. But very curious. So we have Militar next.
It started with a routine monster hunt. It was commissioned by King Rexus, famous for his hatred of sorcerers. The oppression of sorcerers was common practice in the domain of this ruthless king. But King Rexus was not alone in his mistrust of sorcerers. Sorcerers are keepers of the peace, but they deal in murder. The king's disgust was no secret. Despite this, he requested my assistance, which suggested that he faced a great challenge.
Okay, on to Jack Frost. Okay. I don't think we've read. Did we? Let me check it really quick. Okay, yeah, we have not read the story on Jack Frost, so let's do that. We had Jack-o'-lantern, but not Jack Frost. A great chill had set in, and some hardy knights were on the verge of freezing to death. As the fierce blizzard roared, their world was shrouded white. Several days prior, their lord issued a direct order so unthinkable it stunned them all to silence. I want you to repel winter. For no other reason than he disliked the cold, did he issue this selfish command. But despite his foolishness, the knights were duty-bound. They could not but act. With great bewilderment, they wondered how they could turn back an enemy as improbable as winter. To begin their quest, the knights marched north, where the code was thought to originate. They were whipped mercilessly by the frigid air, which they seemed an attack from their great foe. If we continue to overcome these Arctic blasts, winter will run in fear, they assured themselves. To justify their foolish charge, they resolved to believe such nonsense. Fervently, they continued north. On they marched to colder climes, until finally, even the robust knights had reached their limits. They knew it all along. A quest to repel winter was utter folly. Having already challenged the enemy, they faced the truth once more. Winter was not a foe easily fought. Then, amidst the howling snowstorm, they heard a voice. Before their very eyes there appeared a chalice. If you pay a suitable price, I will grant your wish. In a daze, they nodded their assent. Moments later, they felt the cold air no longer. They turned to look at each other only to suffer a great shock. To a man, all of their flesh was stripped away, with each knight's very being transformed. They were perfectly adapted to the cold now. In fact, they had become the cold itself. No longer could they be menaced by what they had become. As beings akin to winter, they finally understood. Whatever aims or intentions winter holds are beyond human ken. For the knights, winter was no longer an obscure notion, nor a thing to be feared, not anymore. Despite paying the price with their humanity, the knights began to laugh with great satisfaction. To repel the cold, they became the cold itself. Now they are all known by the name Jack Frost. Not so much monster, but more of a form of inclement weather. Gosh, it just shows you like how crazy some of these leaders are. Like they just don't assume that people have to listen to them, so they make some stupid thing. Go fight Winter! And then people have to go do it. How big is this? I'm kind of curious if I want to read one of these, just so you guys can get an idea of what the... Yeah, let's do this. Let's read about Lake Andromeda. I just want to give you guys an idea of what the location stories are like, because I haven't done one yet. I do plan on trying to group all these together and do them all in one big reading, but let me know if that's not a very good idea. So Lake Andromeda. Though it is very beautiful, there's clearly something unusual about this lake. The frozen surface glistens as though it were a precious gem, with several great chains protruding from the sandy soil that surrounds it and reaching into the depths. What could be responsible for such a curious scene? There was once a village, home to a woman of quite magnificent beauty. Unbeknownst to the villagers, however, her beauty was false. When she was a young girl, a black-clad man had visited the village. A place largely closed off to the outside world, the village was mistrustful of strangers. But the girl had the natural curiosity of one her age and approached the man without fear. The man, for his part, took an instant liking to the open-minded girl. When it came time for the man to leave, he gave her a certain potion, a potion to make her beautiful. The girl took regular doses of the potion as she grew, thus becoming a breathtakingly beautiful woman. Countless men fell at her feet, her life a carnival of courtship. That is not to say, however, that it was perfect. As time went on, the woman aged just like everyone else. As soon as she noticed her beauty beginning to fade, the woman turned to the potion once more. She took a healthy dose, and almost immediately the flawless beauty of her youth returned. By repeating the process, the woman could maintain her position as the most beautiful in the land. Every time she quaffed the rejuvenating potion, however, the warning from the black-clad man rang in her ears. You can only use the potion 12 times. A 13th, and a great misfortune shall befall you. In her greed, alas, she failed to heed the man's warning, loath as she was to relinquish her wonderful life. She used the potion a 13th time. Though her age should have exceeded 100, she looked not a day over 20, but she had underestimated the cost incurred by sorcery. The villagers were increasingly suspicious about her youth and treated her as a kind of monster, and worse still, a deadly plague was taking hold. Rumors circulated that it was the monstrous woman who had brought the plague to the village. Acting on this suspicion, the villagers decided to punish her for suffering that she had caused. Getting rid of her would perhaps eradicate the plague. Just wishful thinking, of course, but no one was willing to listen to her pleas of innocence. She was taken to a remote piece of wasteland and tied to the ground with chains. The villagers knew that poisonous snakes and insects lived in the area. A bite from one would ensure a long and painful death for her. This was the cruelest execution the villagers could imagine. Rendered immobile by the thick chains, the woman could do nothing but stare at the sky. Death does not concern me, but to be old and ugly, she thought. No sooner had the thought entered her mind than a voice made itself heard, and a white chalice appeared before her eyes. The voice promised her wish be fulfilled if she paid the price. Unhesitating, the woman indicated her assent and was filled with hope. Perhaps her beauty would finally last. Immediately, her body froze into a block of ice, which melted and expanded, forming a breathtaking lake. The lake would later be known as Andromeda and gain renown for its captivating beauty. The woman had wanted beauty, and her wish was realized, but at a heavy cost. Humans are finite beings, and if eternal beauty is obtained, death and also humanity must be renounced. The chains that once held the woman now lead down into the depths of the lake. Exactly what they connect to, no one dares speculate. So now that we know the lore behind that area, we're going to go there. Let me know if these are something that you want me to read. I just want to avoid situations where we're trying to keep the pacing of the story, and then we end up reading lore about both the location and the monster, and it becomes too much. So you guys dictate. This series is basically for you guys. I've played this game already. I love it, and I want to document it, and I want it on the internet so other people can see it as well. So let me know what makes best sense for you. Let's do this. Killing in the name of justice, the sorcerer's duty. Some consider us a necessary evil. Others merely consider us evil. Justice is entirely subjective after all. Oh, and right away we have fellow sorcerer was dying and close by. Okay. Let's go save him. I don't know. When I see this place, I don't think of immense beauty. I think, what the heck happened here is what I think. But okay. It's Lake Andromeda. So Kimdra is dying, so let's go help Kimdra.
This is the end.
That took half my health. Of course. Someone triggered the boss. I skipped a cutscene like an idiot, even though I needed that for my story video. So if you're watching the story video and you want to know why I didn't have the cutscene of it appearing, it's because of my foolish mistake of trying to take fruit in the corner. So I'm going after its arm now. Oh, this lock-on can be really a pain. I mean, it's helpful, but it... Ooh! This spell has some reach. Okay, so arms and head. Standard stuff.
No need to sympathize with these creatures.
And he does some roly-poly. If we had a shield, just putting it up would probably be enough to knock him on his butt for a few moments so we can get some hits. I do not have a shield. I wonder if Kimdra does though. Jack, I was just turning the corner, my friend. Well, at least Jack's not cold. I don't know. I think the knights are more idiots than anything. The fact that they had to go out and do this stupid, like, defeat winter quest. I mean, unless the king was actually serious. Like, what would you kill them if they said that they couldn't do it? Don't answer that. I'm frozen. Oof. That's a big cat. It's eating a whole bunch of other cats, so let's go ahead and kill it. It's almost as big as the boss now. So balls. Zombie. This thing really grew out of control. Thanks, Jack. I don't even see where its body went.
It's nothing. Don't worry.
That's so weird. Let's help her out.
This monster won't go quietly, eh?
So what needs to be broken still? Head and left arm. Okay. Oh, he does a triple swipe. Okay. Good to know. Well, he holds it up so high. I almost feel like I want to bring a platform to this fight, you know? Let's just go out with a bang. I don't think I'm getting into full breaks anyways. He's too close to death. Yeah, that would do it.
It's down on its last legs. No. I don't want to die. Why would you spare a monster's life?
Oh wow, okay. She's not very happy with me. Why would I spare their life? Because they can be saved. That's why. I don't take you with me anymore. Punk. I'm gonna guess I got like second rate, but maybe first rate just because I used a black right. I don't know. How did I get legendary for that? I didn't even destroy all its parts. That wasn't very legendary of me. We'll take it though. We did unlock Fearless Sigil 2, Blitz Magic,
I defeated the monster, and a man approached me. His name was Militar, trusted knight of King Rexus.
I was preoccupied, and so, my lord, enlisted your help.
Quelling the monster was on a long list of tasks assigned to Militar. I had heard much about this man. He was the only sorcerer to ever get close to King Rexus. Amongst sorcerers, he is called the King's little apprentice, or worse, the lapdog of the elite.
Won't you join my forces?
It was an unexpected gesture of confidence. But I questioned his motives. King Rexus always hated sorcerers, but he was also keenly aware of their great strength. Militar exploited this, and by demonstrating unwavering devotion, had become a rare and invaluable possession of the king. He faced suspicion in the kingdom. Once a sorcerer, always a sorcerer. People within the court would always view Militar with disdain. And here he was, asking me to join him. I'd slain the monster. He had recognized my potential. Militar asked me to do a job. He said during the task, his true nature would be revealed. The job was the delivery of a secret message to a hideout deep within the mountains.
Okay, looks like we got some spiders to take care of, so let's just jump on this one. Actually, you know what I'll do, because this is supposed to be fun and interesting for everybody. Let me change up some of the spells here just so you can see some of the new stuff that I've gotten. Give you some ideas of other ways that you can play this game. So what are some interesting ones I can show? Well, we got the morph, which is fun, but you've seen this before. This is where we turn into a giant ball and we roll forward. That's all good. I think I've shown off forwards before, but let's go ahead and put one on. Homing is what I want to try to do a build for eventually. It's the one where you sort of like lock on, almost like Dragon Panzer Dragoon, and you do stuff. Let's try some explosives. That could be fun. Militar's way of life is roundly scorned by everyone, sorcerers and courtiers alike. Was he really willing to go to such lengths for power? Yeah, I don't trust the guy either. Fun fact, he's called Lancelot in the Japanese version of the game. They use all the King Arthur legend names for all the characters, even though it's really... I mean, there's some little motifs and hints to like the original story, but it's not meant to really be the legend of King Arthur at all. Which is why they removed it and gave them original names in English, which I happen to agree was a really good idea. Okay, because I want to take care of these spiders in one shot each, so I'm going to go ahead and fruit myself up. Tutti fruity. Let's have some fun, shall we? So we have explosives. Just shooting like anvils out. Oh, I want to hit the group. I want to hit the group. Do I kill multiples at once? That's crazy. Yeah. No? I don't know. I might be getting unlucky. Oh, come on. You bird. Oh. Yeah, they move too fast, so let's try this one. What's this? Whoa! That is cool. That's the fire roar. I like that. That's really cool. We charge it? No. That's neat. Let's pick up some of these things because we're going to need these random stuff for sigils later on in the game. So sleeping on them is not a good idea. Let's try to bomb. If I lock on, will it help me with the explosives? It's just so comical, isn't it? It's like that joke, like throwing everything at the enemy, including the kitchen sink. This is like the kitchen sink, isn't it? Burn fried chicken. This is a plus, should be. Yep, Sawbones plus. Where's the last one? Where's he hiding? KFC! Secret recipe. That's a fun roar. I really like that. Here's another Sawbone plus. Nothing going on here but the rent. Did I get it? Yes. So we're in the western part of the world, so we get the western shards. Completed. Do let me know about the locations though. There are like 20 in the game, so it could add up to be a lot of story. Time to move on.
I arrived at the hideout and was greeted by a female sorcerer. The place was filled with sorcerers. These sorcerers all served Militar. He had amassed allies, and they waited for the moment to pounce. Waiting for the day they would rise up and drag King Rexus down. Countless sorcerers had lost their lives under King Rexus's rule. Militar knew this all too well. As a boy, his parents were executed for crimes they did not commit. Vowing revenge, he infiltrated the court of the enemy, planning a revolution from the inside. The secret message read, "The time is not yet ripe." Orders from Militar.
How long must we wait?
The woman swiftly crumpled the message in her hand. By delivering the message, I had been let in on Militar's secret. He asked me to become friends, but he also needed an ally to help carry out revenge. Then, one day, he confided in me. He said that he had received a letter directly from the Queen. Queen Regia had been blessed with a pregnancy. Militar was clearly distressed. He told me he'd fallen in love with the Queen. his enemy's wife. At first, it was part of the plan. But he explained that what started as deception blossomed into true love. Regia's letter proposed that they leave everything behind and flee together to a faraway land. Militar, torn inside, set out for their rendezvous. En route, he faced terrible monsters.
Yeah, I don't like him. Not only is he using other sorcerers who have their own agendas and their own lives as pawns in his revenge, which I think he rightfully can take. He is now in love with the queen under false pretenses, which is wrong. And he's lost sight of the goal. I can't get behind this guy. He's flip-floppy. So these are ghouls. We've read about the ghouls before. And this is in the Icarus pasture. So let's go ahead. Let me change my spells, because these are just regular old enemies. I'll show you off some more interesting stuff so you get an idea of all the different playstyles you can do. We've done homing, throw, explosive specials. Okay. So let's put on the special. I wonder if I showed you a summon yet. Maybe not. So let's get rid of the whirlwind and put on a roar. I want to show you a fun combo that you can do. There's tons of like combos in this game. So go ahead and put on the harpy scream. What we're going to do is we're going to summon a golem, and I found out that you can do a roar to break up the golem into smaller golems, and it's really funny. It seems no man knows the baby the queen carries as Militar's, if it were ever come to light. We've got leverage on him, haha. See, I'm the evil one.
Let us see these skills of yours.
So self-righteous. I don't like you, buddy. Let's go get a golem in here. Golem. Kill. Yeah, it's like Dragon's Dogma levels of awesomeness, isn't it? Kill him. Okay, I'll roar. Roar. Oh, look at the little golems. Aren't they adorable? Go get them, boys. Go get them. Don't let that crow get away. Oh, they are adorable, aren't they? Wonderful. I love it. And of course, roars, you can just, build up a roar. You can hold it and go. Hurt everybody around you. Or you can just do it really fast. It's really good for doing counters as well, because if you see a small enemy is about to pounce, you can go ahead and use that to get the jump on them really fast. I tried doing like a roar build of mostly roars, but it didn't quite go as planned. Yeah, you gotta charge these things. Get some power in there, Let's get some more baby golems in here, shall we? Wonder what happens if I charge my roar. I doubt anything will change. Yeah, it's the same. I'm just grabbing the ones that give me extra experience points because I want the rare drops. Well, not that time. My crew. Where my crew at? Where's the monster at? Way up there. Get back here. There we go. So yeah, not my type of play style, but that's how it goes. This guy looks like Rutger Hauer, doesn't he? Sort of. No, actually, he looks like that one guy. Ah, who is the person I'm thinking of? Ah, there's that actor. What's his name? Not Liam Neeson. I can't remember the name. But he looks like someone famous. It's a very bad rating, but I was just trying to show off some cool new stuff.
Regia had slipped out of her residence and had arrived safely. Militar and Regia embraced. And he told her everything that he had kept from her. That he had approached her only as part of a larger plan. Regia was heartbroken and melted in distress. But Militar took her in both arms and held her tightly.
It started as a lie. But this lie became truth. I have devoted myself to vengeance, but now I devote myself to you and the child you bear.
Regia stood sobbing. She cried not out of sadness or grief. They knew that they would cast all aside and live for each other. I was asked by Militar to escort them to the border. Militar marched along the rough trail with Regia on his back. At this moment, they both had faith in their future, faith in the joys to come. Unaware that all of their dreams would be shattered. Their conversation came to a sudden end, and Militar froze. Blood ran down Regia's face. The light faded from her eyes. An arrow of ice had sunk deep within her forehead.
Where are you off to, dear Militar?
The female sorcerer we had met at the hideout peered down upon us. Militar had turned on his peers to elope with a queen. As the female sorcerer saw it. Declaring him a traitor, she fell on him with her band of sorcerers.
Kill the sorcerer. Interesting fact. Apparently in the original Soul Sacrifice game, you were able to either sacrifice or save this boss. but they changed it in this game for narrative reasons. But they had one design bug where they forgot to make the life essence that you can get from her for saving her. They forgot to do it in a way where the item that uses it wasn't changed. So there's an actual sigil in the game. It's not something horribly important, but if you're like a crazy 100% completionist, there's one essence that you just can't get. There is one way, but it's crazy, which is just pick up blue orbs everywhere and pray that you get it, because those are random. There are rumors that apparently you can get that more often in northern areas, but who knows? That sounds fun. The woman sorcerer working for Militar started to grow suspicious after being on standby for so long. It seems she stole away to find out what's going on. He should have told them. Like, he should just came out and said, guys, I know you wanted revenge and I've had you... gosh, who knows how long he had them. But, or he should have found a way to do both. There's a way to overtake the king and get away with the queen, you know? I would at least assume so. So, bad planning on this guy's behalf.
Dear Militar, to think I had faith in you. Treacherous cur!
However, her doing that queen in like that was kind of cruel. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not helping Militar out. He can do it himself. I'm gonna go collect some orbs. Warlock. How you doing over there, Militar? You dealing with your mess? Think I'm gonna help you clean up that?
Did they mean nothing?
I don't think so, buddy. Get away from me. Don't associate me with you. You did this mess yourself. You cleaned it up.
Was I ill prepared?
I hope she wins. I hope she beats him. She's yellow right now.
I knew you were a capable sorcerer. Was I ill prepared?
So let's go get a front row seat, shall we? She's green, he's yellow.
You said you would
Kick his
bring
butt.
changes to this land.
No, get him. Why are you running away? Kick his butt. Oh, now you're both yellow. Oh, fine. You know what? Should I get involved just so I can get my points? I'm using you guys just for the points. Just gonna make that clear now, so there's no misunderstanding. I'm not doing this to help him. He is a chump.
And advance further.
And you got a poor queen involved, and I'm sure she's innocent. Don't trust men.
Abandon us. Militar. Oh, Militar. Why?
Well, we didn't have a choice in the matter anyways. Camellia. Sorry. Let's see the conclusion to the story.
Militar in quiet despair embraced the corpse of his beloved queen. Sobbing for 3 days and nights, until at last he took to his feet. Militar embraced his lover's body and waded into the lake. He released her hand, and she sank into the water's depths. He spoke little and left. Sometime later, I happened upon Militar. He was a traitor, on the run from the king's men. Tinged forever with self-doubt. The moment he and Regia had vowed to live together. However brief it was profoundly fulfilling. Unlike any emotion ever felt in his quest for revenge. The pain of losing Regia was a difficult thing to overcome. He wished to curse his fate and curse the world. Yet if he did, he felt that he might seal his own fate. That he would stoop to the level of a monster. He had lost Regia, but he did not wish to lose the purity of his love for her. Why let good memories be tarnished by hateful thoughts? And so he believes that there will be a day when he can accept his cruel fate. That he may lose everything, but he would not lose himself.
That is the story of Militar. I do like that last sentiment, though. Why tarnish a beautiful memory with, hateful thoughts or something like that? It's a really good sentiment. Okay, so that is it for those, and we are next episode going on the... Wow, we're hitting the conclusion of the base game. So, or the beginning of the end. Very aptly named. This is going to be really fun. I don't know who Nihil is. We'll have to see. Stone Fiend Entrails. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be 6 chapters, where the other ones have been like 4. This was 5. This was 5. Yes, this is going to be our biggest chapter yet. It's going to be beginning of the end. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, happy hunting.